And we are live.
All right.
Share the show.
Indeed.
Let me get over here so I can put it in all the groups.
I'm cracking up, y'all, because my friends are really trying to help me get over baby fever.
Yeah.
I appreciate them. And I did not turn the volume down.
Dang, one Tory.
I'm working on it.
Kickbackers!
I'm just very happy that didn't clip from.
Oh, good.
Get better at this. What's up, y'all? Happy Sunday.
Monday.
You're right.
That's why it's Monday.
You're right.
It is our first live broadcast in months.
Mm-hmm.
Couple months.
Oh, I didn't want to put that in that group. Well, I'm sending this to every group, apparently.
When don't you?
Well, I try not to send it to every group. You know, I don't mind sending it to like lit landlords.
You put it into white Christian business.
Right.
Right. That's probably
You shouldn't have added me. Why'd you add me? I'm sending this to every group. What is it? The Walking Dead group, Choke and Stroke, Music Heads Only, Royal Eye Candy, MHRF. I don't know what that is. We already got promotion definitely there. Black folks watch Game of Thrones too. Yep. They ain't got nothing to talk about. Game of
Because
Thrones
it's
over.
over.
So that,
Like over.
Right. I'll give them some life there. Debates with Nerds. Who the fuck put me in a group
Probably JB.
called Debates with Nerds?
Did you
You're
put that
gonna
in?
get this podcast work. JB did this to y'all. Y'all gonna get this podcast work.
Exactly.
Ooh, Black loves
Exactly.
Holly.
My nerds need to become gangster geeks like that. That's all that is. That's
Juice
all that
box.
is.
Most
So
of
y'all
the-
probably wondering why we so like dressed up today. Everybody is, looking. So I mean, this is the kind of thing that occurs to us. We wasn't really counting, but this is our 50th podcast, isn't
Is
it?
that why you got dressed up?
Yeah.
I got dressed up because I was like, it's clean.
Oh! I ain't mad at that. Well, you're right. I was like, white pants. I'm dry cleaners. Why not?
No bullshit. I was like, George, we gonna wear the shirts today? She's like, nah, next week. I was like, So what am I gonna wear today? I'm definitely not ironing. I went in the closet, I seen this shit hanging up. I was like,
Yep.
that's a bad. And plus, it's our 50th podcast episode.
Right.
So I was doubly hyped. I am very happy. Before we get into the show, while we're waiting because we're doing it live, for those that are on YouTube and Google Play and Spotify and Apple and Christian Mingle.
Waiting on that.
Why did you wait on that?
He added an extra one in.
Yeah, he
Because
did.
I just knew it was
Yeah,
coming.
he did. Google Play was the new one.
Yeah, because I realized we get a lot of plays on Google.
That's
And
what's up.
also, finally remember. Shit, what's his name? I think it's Prime. If I'm saying
Optimus Prime?
no, our one of the Kickbackers, who was the first to guess every record that's on the wall.
Oh, right.
And I
right.
meant to shout him out. So Prime, I know it's another part to your name. I don't think it's Optimus, but it's some Major Prime.
Hey, Optimus Prime was dope.
He was, but there was only one Optimus Prime.
What about Rodimus Prime? Did you fuck with Rodimus Prime?
Rodimus Prime was cool, but Rodimus Prime was primarily cool because he was kind of like in Optimus Prime's family. Like, it's,
Yeah.
come on, Optimus Prime. Like,
I mean,
Optimus,
he got like.
did y'all know that the same actor has played Optimus Prime for his
Since the
entire
80s.
history
Yes.
on television, movies,
That is like
everything?
the dopest
The
thing.
same fucking dude.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and neither one of y'all better not punch me. I've only seen one Transformer movie. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Flip flop.
But I know I'm supposed to watch it because JB gave me the movies to watch it.
Wait, time out. So you have the movies here. That's your Netflix and chill for the week. You were to catch up on all the Transformers.
Okay.
Don't talk to us.
I will catch up. I will catch up by next show.
Thank you.
By next show.
Thank you. And you see what I did?
And
right?
I'm
Yeah,
legitimately
like, like
On
I'm
the
trying
show.
to geek him up, but he's.
Did you at least watch the cartoons?
Oh, I watched the cartoon faithfully. I was a big fan of the cartoon. I watched the very first.
He had more Transformers than I did.
I
You
still-
see, we're old enough to
I
actually
still
own
have Transformers.
I still have G.I. Joe Man.
I have
Boom.
those too.
Yeah, my son.
I have
destroyed
a box
my
of-
Wait a minute. I gave my G.I. Joe Man to kill him, huh?
and he,
They're all destroyed.
yeah.
I will take
Well,
a
that's what
picture.
you're supposed to do.
I will take a picture.
I kept the
of
one
mine.
black one.
I have
Where he is.
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, but where is it? No, I'm thinking about
he
it.
probably lost
Where-
it.
I usually set him up
I've
somewhere.
got Ninja
and I
Turtles.
don't know.
I've got Transformers. I've got G.I. Joes.
Do you have?
You got me a G.I. Joe. What's the dog you had me? Hello, you had me a G.I. Joe.
Don't have He-Man, I don't believe. I do have some other action. Oh! What is. Okay. I can't remember. I have
You
GoBots. I do have GoBots.
GoBots. I remember
Do
the
you
GoBots.
remember the
What
metallic?
planet
No, do y'all remember the little army men?
Power.
Do y'all remember the little action figures mask? That cartoon?
You don't
The little
understand.
tiny
Like, I
characters?
instantly fell in love. Like women like her actually
So-
exist. Yeah. Like
What? Silverhawks.
I,
I've got some
Damn!
of those.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. My mind is blown.
I couldn't
My mind-
remember what it was.
my
I
mind
have
is blown.
Silverhawks. I've
She
got
knows
those
about
guys.
the.
I forgot about them.
I
So I'm
did.
like, how the fuck do you remember?
Because I told you guys I have a brother that's a little bit older than y'all, and so I was
Yeah.
forced as a child
The-
to watch these things,
That-
and I
they
ended
were
up
like
loving them.
like
Silverhawks. Yes,
she knows about the Silverhawks. Yeah.
She knew this fucking song.
I'm a nerd. I tried to tell you guys. I told you. I warned you before I got here.
My-
I'm a little bit dorky. Forgive me.
Well, you know what? How about we introduce the show?
How about
Dor-
that?
Dorky.
Now that my mind is blown.
Woohoo! I did my job.
That's crazy. All right, well, welcome to a pod. Well, what's the name of the show, JB?
It's a pod named Kickback, dog. A pod named Kickback. Say it with me now.
It's a pod named Kickback.
Thank you.
Also known as the Black CNN and the Revolution will
Will
be
be
televised. I'm no Grace New, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Monday, we right back at it. I feel fantastic. I look into it. So,
That threw me off.
did you agree?
I need a loose pillow.
Damn!
Yeah, that leather one's gonna get some slack.
Wow!
That's
Wow!
some slack.
I wanted this extra.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Tori Grace. I'm in the building today. The vixen with a voice, the blonde bombshell, Mac Blonde. Y'all say a prayer for all of your curly-haired natural friends.
Mm-hmm.
It is humid as fuck in Georgia.
Girls talking though.
This is like a pound of gel and conditioner and like more gel, more conditioner, more gel. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, as
Still moves.
an ex-husband, it's like whatever. Like it worked. It looks good. That's you know.
I was trying to be cute today.
Sometimes, gentlemen, sometimes you just gotta sit the fuck down and wait for beauty to happen. And you know. Anyway, it's JB Frank, y'all. I'm that gangster geek representing NWA Nerds with Attitude. Happy Monday, everybody.
And we are in such a good mood, such good spirits, because you know we've been doing the show or version of this show for 7 years.
Yeah.
We decided last January when we did the rename, which was Kickback TV, that we were going to become a podcast. And over the last year, you know, we've posted episodes via podcast apps, and we've done some on Facebook, and we've done some on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. In summation, we have reached 50 episodes. So I want to toast you guys on 50 episodes.
Cheers. Been here for like, what, 12? Appreciate y'all having me.
It's been a blast.
Definitely, man. Thank you to all the Kickbackers who have been watching the YouTube videos, watching, listening, streaming old episodes from a year ago, all over the United States, and for the first time I remember to say it. Shout out to all my folks in France, or our folks in France that are listening and watching the pod. You make up 9% of our demographic, and that is the second largest percentage outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on in France.
Bonjour.
But bonjour, oui, bon, merci beaucoup.
You stop before you say something you're not supposed to.
Yeah, he about to piss all of our French.
You know what? I got a message to all our ladies over there in France.
If you say I'm gonna hit you with this shoe,
No, baby, fa sol la tito.
I have my shoe prepared to hit him for
This is
you.
gonna be a lovely
Yes, I do.
statement. This is gonna be a lovely statement.
And I'm about to bust you for it.
Isn't that what you think?
Yes, it is.
It's not.
JB and I already know what you're
It's
about
not
to
what
say.
y'all think. Tu sais, je t'aime toujours. See? I know French. For those in America that don't know what I said, I said, you know I love you always. And that's to all the ladies in France that are tuning in. JB, that's what I said, right?
Pardon pour tout le monde.
Comme c'est comme ça.
Je ne parle pas français.
Jab. And for all my people in France, I'm gonna count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That sounds like the worst.
I said,
French ever.
I'm sorry, French speakers of the world, but we don't speak French, so you need to listen to us.
Why you hating on my French accent?
That was not an act. That was a DC accent.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly.
Whatever, man. Thank you, Letitia. I don't know if
Miss Nash.
Miss Nash.
If you're not sure.
If you're nasty. Thank you. People are congratulating us. Our show is going to be jam-packed. It's going to be a shorter show because that show's been getting long because of Tori. Tori be talking too much sometimes. And the show just go on and on and on.
Watch out, JB.
No, don't hit me.
On to the first topic. Music.
Okay.
Music.
So let me go ahead and give the up to date.
Mhm.
All right. If y'all don't know, I'm obsessed with going to concerts. I didn't go to my first concert till like 2-3 years ago. 4 years ago, because it was right before I had my baby. And I was introduced to concerts through One Music Fest. And they just made the announcement for their lineup. So, that being said, it is the summer of freaking concerts. Every year in Atlanta, like, there is pretty much a concert a week from now until pretty August. Like, we get other concerts after August, but from now through the end of August, there's a concert a week. So I know the guys were excited about
Maze and Frankie Beverly. Before
you
I
done
let
skip
go.
like 70 other concerts. So that's what they're
And that's the
excited
Beyonce
for.
version. Although I do like Beyonce's version. People hating on
It's
it.
not a
I
bad
like it.
version. It's different from what we're used to.
And then they put Candy in it. Candy on music.
I love So we got
We're dancing right now, Tori.
No, you're not. Dave Chappelle. Freaking Frank, I didn't realize Battle of the Bands was coming back already.
So the summer is gonna be crazy in Atlanta. It's time to get outside, time to be out in the sun.
Cute shorts.
Right?
Yeah, I gotta get these legs on. I'm definitely gonna have the cute
I
shorts
want
on.
to see that. I'm not interested.
Ladies, the legs will be out this summer. Ladies,
We
the
got
legs
Dave
will be
Chappelle.
out this summer. Watch how many ladies coming. They're gonna all be, oh my God.
Zero.
Watch. Well, it's a
Dave
10-second
Chappelle,
delay.
Battle of the Bands, Duce Palooza, Dave Chappelle again, Tech Nine, the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, which is something that I would like to see. Young Bloods are coming. Like, this is all within the next week and a half.
God damn.
Yeah.
Oh, and next Friday, this Friday, Duce Palooza will be here in Atlanta. That's Rory from Joe Budden Podcast. Mo from the podcast will be here.
Sitting over here throwing me off.
Going.
Cool and the Gang is coming.
Hey!
Cherish the love we have. Live as long as it
Atlanta lineup is crazy. So
Yeah,
what
it's
I would
bananas.
like to do, I talked to the guys. So September 7th and 8th, that is like the epitome of concerts for me here in Atlanta. I know Music Midtown is either like the week before or the week after. I don't care. One music fest.
We
Wu-Tang.
gotta go September 7th. That's a good luck day for me. Every year something amazing happens to me on September 7th.
That's fine, but I want to go September 7th and 8th. So kickbackers, y'all.
Kick back,
You heard it
I
right
need
here.
y'all to get it together. Like, I
Mark
need
it
you
on
to save
your
your money.
calendars.
We do not have to go VIP because we're going to be VIP in our own section.
Can't we post an event in Facebook
Yes,
and make sure
let's-
they're all there?
Let's get
Yep.
tickets. Y'all, let's go and have a kickback, get out on September 7th and 8th for One Music Fest. But, I mean, music. I'm ready.
Yeah, y'all gonna see how we
It's
do
a,
that.
yeah, it's a lot of good music out right now.
Mhm.
We'll get to that later on in the show.
Absolutely.
But it's a lot of good music
Let's
out.
do it. Let's do it. Let's move on to the next topic. Your just went viral.
My left stroke just went viral.
Let's do it. It's above me now. You know.
It's above me now. Heard what you said. It's above me now. On the phone, when you said it. It's above me now. On the phone, when you said it. It's above me.
This
Hey,
was
man.
awesome.
This was great. It makes me smile. This makes me happy. A gentleman. What hotel was it?
I don't even know. Like, I don't know the hotel. I don't know his name. You, sir, are dope.
Yeah, he should have got a Nipsey Hussle award.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we know,
I mean-
you know who we had to give it to though.
But
Right.
he handled himself accordingly because I don't know if I could have been that calm, that chill. Like, he legit was just like, I heard you said it on the phone, and it's above me now.
So if you've been living under a rock or smoking rock and don't know what happened, let me tell you, man. There was a gentleman who worked it as a hotel. What do you call him? Not concierge.
Concierge.
Oh, yeah, concierge. I was right. Yeah. And a woman called in to make a reservation, and during the process, something must have gone awry because she called him a fucking nigger. And then when she showed up at the hotel, and to give you a little backstory, this lady's mother died, and then she was in town for the funeral, and her entire family, came in town, and they're all staying at this hotel. I don't know what her issue was, but they're all in their rooms chilling, and she's trying to get her room. And he's like, man, there's nothing I can do for you. You call me a fucking nigger.
Well, let's rewind for a second, because first of all, after she said that, he had completed her reservation on the phone. He canceled out her reservation. Was like, I'm sorry, but we don't tolerate that kind of behavior in our
And he
homes.
reported it.
And he reported it to senior management. They backed him 100%. Said he comported himself perfectly professionally because he ended the call, ended the engagement, and that was it. Right? So then she showed up at the hotel, and he was like, "It's a wrap."
It's above me now.
It's above me now.
There's nothing I can do about this.
Right.
You called me a fucking nigger, and
Right,
I
right.
do not have to tolerate
Actions
this.
lead to consequences. It's
And
just that simple.
Her thing was, I apologize.
Nice.
And like he said, in the climate that we live in today, this is unacceptable behavior. You can't just apologize after you call somebody a name like, my bad, I called you out your name, so now I'm saying I'm sorry. You're supposed to accept it.
Yeah, and those of us who have worked in an environment of customer service, like this is like a double win. It's a win for Black people because we stand up for ourselves, but it's a win for those of us who deal with this kind of bullshit
Yeah.
On a
day to
daily
day.
basis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And this
I'm
is a
in
lot of
sales.
our people who deal
Yeah.
with this kind of shit. So
Facts.
this teaches us a message like you can stand up for yourself in a professional way. You just be like, hey, look, like you said what you said, and this conversation is over because you called me. So
And my superiors agree.
Yeah, man, working in sales, especially on the phone, I've been called a lot of shit.
But it's better on the phone because at least you can hang up and it's done.
Yeah.
Whereas in person, they still standing there.
But they're not going to call me that in person. They're not going to. I've never been called. Well, I got called a nigga when I was about 6 years
are
old.
fortunate.
yeah,
I am scary. Ain't nobody call me no fucking nigga in my face.
No, you're fortunate.
I've had
Scary.
to give a few white boys black eyes behind. that
I
shit.
had a lady throw her drawers at me because she was pissed off because I wouldn't return them. First of all, you like a size 72. Nobody makes underwear your size. What are you
That's
doing?
like JB's kind of woman.
No, it's
What are
not.
you doing
No,
in the
that
store
is
for
entirely
petite
false.
juniors
I'm very
trying to buy
upset that you
panties
said
for
that.
your big old butt? Like, the panties don't stretch that far. Like, no. And I had to tell her, if you do not leave, security will come. She legit threw her drawers at me because I wouldn't return her panties. Like, you're fortunate. Like, all the names under the sun that come along with it, you're fortunate.
I gotta say this. Y'all look good. Y'all look good as shit. I mean, we all look good. I'll say that, but we all look good. But we look good.
The colors are like.
Pretty today.
I'm gonna close this blind because there's too much sunlight coming in.
So yeah, and then shout out to Best Western for responding because
Yeah.
they were the hotel next door,
It was like.
and they said you can't stay.
Oh yeah, and the gentleman said there's a hotel next door. There's the Best Western next door. Like you can go there, you're not staying here, it's above me now. And then Best Western responded and said, you can't stay here neither. So it's above me now is a new slang.
If anybody needs a shirt, hit me up. You know I got you.
I had a chill Tori there earlier today. She was asking, oh, it's above me now, Tori. Like, it's above me
And
now.
he wonders why I want to throw something at him.
I didn't even do nothing. Damn.
Anyway, so this was a petty win, but it's the kind of win I like because it sends a message like
We are not gonna stand and
yeah,
tolerate.
like fuck the dumb shit, like just that's just not gonna fly. It should have never flown, but it's not gonna fly in 2019, especially. I love that shit.
It's above me now.
Well,
Bitch.
let's move on to this next topic.
Next topic.
Adriana. How do you
Be on.
Adriana Bailon.
Adrian
Bailon.
Adrian Bailon.
She's on the so-called The Talk,
The talk.
and they were talking about how sex and how often you have sex, and she said she has to have an orgasm every 12 hours. Like she cannot go either masturbation or sex, but she can't go more than 12 hours without a good nut. I have moments when I feel that way.
I love it.
I love that she said it. I would love it more if it's true. I have an orgasm fetish, so women talking about coming, I'm always going to listen. I'm like, oh, tell me more. How many you need? So I feel, I enjoyed it. Before we dissect it, which I know we are, how long can you guys go without an orgasm?
Maybe 2 days.
Well, in the state of my life, the way it is right now,
Excuse me.
it's longer than that because I got shit to do. I have work and school and kids and construction and family trips and a business. So that is not on my priority list right now. Like that's to the back. So I can't even say days. I can say weeks, a year.
Without an orgasm?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Not even masturbating? Just
I'm totally fine. Like I got shit to do. And when you have shit to do,
orgasm won't take that long.
no,
Yeah,
that's
take all
taking
day.
up time that I gotta go handle something else because you wanna go to sleep right after. And I don't have time to sleep. Like I need to be up handling my business. So I'm busy. Like that's not on my priority list right now.
Well,
It's
for
terrible.
me, I would say like 3-4 days. I don't like to, but I'm what you call it? I'm conscious of my masturbation because I don't want to get desensitized to vagina. So I try to like just have sex and cut down on the masturbation. What?
My homeboy said orgasm ain't gonna take that long. I want to go to sleep after. Yes, it does.
Exactly. It don't take that long. Aside from the fact that I'm trying not to, be the most difficult nigga that may come in the world, so I cut down on my masturbation because I fuck all fucking forever. So But if it was just with my preference, I want another day, at least one other day. Usually right before I go to sleep. That's what I would want. But I'll go 2, 3, 4 days.
That's fair. I mean, the question was how long will you go? I mean,
I will go. Well, I can go, for a long time. But on average, I probably ain't going more than 3, 4 days.
yeah, after 2 days, I might make a bad decision. It's really, I have what you call
Adrian
comfortably
Vallone syndrome.
high libido.
Adrian Vallone syndrome.
Is
12
that
hours.
I mean, I'm
I'm
telling you, the only reason I don't nut every morning and every night is just because it takes I'm already like I don't come quick. So it's gonna take a whole lot to make me nut. And if I jerk on every day, that poor girl gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the only reason. If all things equal, I'm jerking off every morning, every night. That's what I would do. But I just know that.
So I guess the long and short of it is that she's not in an unfamiliar camp.
But she's married. Like, I feel like
And she's married, which is a plus.
I feel like this
That sounds
though
like
is
a
kind of
great
her.
relationship.
But I don't think that's what the situation is like. I think
She
she's
said
just
this
for
thing-
attention.
She said it's okay, well, break that down.
She wants attention. She's like, to me, on her
She wanted to get
show,
on the pod and kick back. She wanted us talking about her on the pod and
she
kick
wanted
back.
to be talked about. Like, she's the least important person on the whole entire
So,
talk.
do you think this is accurate then?
You'd have to ask her husband. I feel like with her saying something, it's just her saying it because she wants attention. Like, you've got one of the Mallory sisters, I can't remember which one.
Tamika Tamara.
Not Tamika. Tia or Tamara. One of
Who the
them.
fuck is Tamika Mara?
Shitting me. I was
Oh,
like,
I remember Tamika Mara from elementary school. She gave good head. Like what?
in elementary school?
Hey, I just told you every 12 hours. Every 12 hours. 12 hours.
I'm not going to participate in what you just said.
Okay, because I'm sitting here like elementary
I
school.
didn't
No, you
know
stay
that.
over there.
I look at the camera. I got you closer.
I didn't know him at elementary school, so
I just think this was her form of trying to make
when he got
herself.
to the 7th grade.
Damn. No, you knew me in elementary school. Dream I was 86. I was
So
in.
y'all have known each other longer than 30 years.
No,
You
me and JB
were
knew each other
12
longer.
years. You were
longer
12 years old, so
than- Not in Dream I. In 86, I was 10. I was born in 76.
Yeah.
You were 75.
you're right.
In 86, I was 10.
Poor
And
thing.
10 is
You
like
dealt with him that
4th
long.
grade.
You
That's like
need
4th
a
grade.
therapy session.
Wait a minute. I don't need therapy for dealing with him.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I've been here like, what, 12 weeks now, and you're a headache.
I'm a headache.
I didn't have to say nothing.
Dang, JB, get him back. Support me,
You're
brother.
my brother. I love you. Pray with me, brother. Pray with me, brother. I love you. I love you.
See? I love you too, bro. See?
Yeah.
Cut on my go, JB. I'm tired of Tory.
Speaking of our what the fuck story of the day, y'all. Joe Biden came out.
Because
I
I
said
gave
that
it
to
to
you.
you.
Oh, my man. Look. That's my brother. That's my brother. I looked at him and was like, what the
Again,
hell?
you need a therapy session. If you need
Cut her mic
to
off,
find a
JB. Cut her mic
therapist,
off. Tory,
you
cut
let
that
me
mic off.
know.
You didn't see me like obstreperously like take out the clothes like and then look at you like that's
you,
your
bro.
What was that word you just said?
Obstreperously like
This nigga, hold on, tell me. Pause. What's that word again?
obstreperously.
You know what? We're going to give you a segment, the word of the week.
Yes. From now on, it'll be a JB Frank word of the week. This motherfucker said,
We can
what
call
the hell you
it,
say?
we can call it geeked out. What do you want to call it?
What was the word?
You are getting a word of the week.
We're going to call that the obstreperous word of the week.
So my whole point is
What the fuck does obstreperous mean?
it means out in the open, like in front of everybody. obviously doing it so everybody can see. Obstreperous.
Like when girls be flirting with me and they be just taking their ass.
Yo, you know, like at the pool when all the girls they walk by, you know, so they can see, you know, you can see it. Yeah, it's obstreperous.
Oh, obstreperous ass bitches. I'm probably making that shit sound so crazy. So if you say it sounds like the perfect word, I say it sounds some of this shit.
So my Harvard friends used to always joke around with me because they'd be like, JB, like you a nigga who did well on the SAT. Like you the only person who would use the word obstreperous and motherfucker in the same.
Facts. Because me and Jay, like we just said, elementary school, and if JB was on some, I'd be like, I can't fuck with that nigga. That's my nigga. That's a
You
nigga. That's my
legit
nigga.
have to use context clues when he's talking. Like, okay, I thought I was nerdy. All right, let me pretend like I'm visualizing the sentence to describe the before and after surrounding this word.
It's just a word.
I'm pretty sure in all of the schooling I've ever done, that was not one of my words that I had to use.
Obstreperous. You never learned the word obstreperous.
I'm 99.9% sure.
I'm there with Joey. I don't think I've ever.
I'm in school now and we don't use that word.
I'm about to use it all the time. These niggas going that obstreperous bad shit, trying to get attention. These girls all on Facebook and Instagram, obstreperous pictures.
The fun part about the word obstreperous right now, y'all, is what Joe Biden is doing.
Segway!
You like that, right? Because what Joe Biden is doing right now is clearly pandering to the LGBTQ.
I think there's a P at the end of there now.
What the fuck is a P?
There's another, I don't
No,
know.
there's no P. The Q was the new letter.
No, the
LGBTQ.
Q has been there for a minute.
What
There's
I
another letter. It might be an I. There's another letter
No, it's
after Q.
LGBTQ.
There's another letter
One of
after
the
Q.
LGBTQ
Can somebody
people
Google that
Google
for us
that
and
and
put it in the chat?
need an intern.
Yeah.
What's your girl name is supposed to be coming?
Toys. We need to
What's her name?
Toys.
Toys.
That's my
That
boo.
is a wonderful name.
That's my boo. I've known
Her
her.
name is Toys.
That's what we call her. She's so
That is
cute.
awesome.
Like sex toys?
No, like
G.I. Joe toys?
Latoya Toys. That's what we call her.
Oh, I know toys. So toys.
I will punch you. You don't know her.
That's
She's from
the-
Wisconsin. She don't know.
Oh my God.
I was about to say
She's
she's from Wisconsin. I was just about to
That's
say.
like the cute. She's
I was about to say
she's gotta be like the cutest person.
I love
ever.
her to death. Like
Is she really cute?
she is cute. And I was
You
at a
met her,
video
'cause I know
shoot
her.
one day. My
And the
mom.
video is my song. It was one of my songs.
It was not your song
How do you know?
because you wasn't there.
I was there.
With my toys.
Playing with my toys. Playing with my toys. Playing with... Okay, I'm sorry. JB doing it too. How come he don't ever get in trouble?
Because you started it.
No, he started it.
Oh, he did.
Hey, I was about to say, tell me something. Have y'all ever seen Roscoe Jenkins?
Yes.
He was like, at the end when he did the race with City Entertainment, and the father got mad at him, James Earl Jones, he was like, dang, he was doing it too. I know he lost his father, but why did I have to lose mine? So Tori, I know he lost his father, why did I have to lose
I'm
mine?
not Beyonce either.
Oh, don't get the beehive started. Oh, we gotta talk about that. Let's finish this topic. We're gonna insert that. So what we talking about?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden said
And I
that
still
the-
need to know what letter comes after the LGBT.
It's LGBTQ.
I'm looking it up.
So anyway, Joy, Lord have mercy.
Yes, it's QIA.
I
I told you there
You
were
know
other
I-
letters.
you know I.
Yes.
So Joe Biden has announced that it
Oh,
is
that's the intersex and asexual,
yeah.
which is what Janelle Monáe claims that she is now.
Yeah.
I told you there were other letters at the end of it.
Y'all, they keep adding letters. This is gonna be a whole fucking
Just
alphabet.
maybe, what was it that Big Bird said? Afro-Snibbly-Snibbly-Nuffles?
What?
You don't remember the song? Now that was in your era of Sesame Street.
Oh,
No.
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I know Snuffleupagus.
No.
Oh, it was
Big
something.
Bird.
I started watching Sesame Street in like 1979.
And
Do y'all
it was
remember when Will Smith said supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards in a rhyme? He said that shit in
No.
verse. Yeah.
Said it backwards.
Yes.
Will Smith?
Yes.
I gotta go find this.
Yeah.
You know he used to be a rapper. Oh, I'm not talking to you, Tori. I'm talking to our audience. Because we have a lot of 20-year-old women who follow me that are watching the show.
So at any rate, Uncle Joe said that he's going all in with the alternative lifestyle alphabet soup community.
The Rainbow Flag Carrier.
Yeah,
That's his priority.
That is his number one priority. Now, we had a little debate about this off the air, y'all, because, I mean, we all think this is a bad move, but we think it's a bad move for different reasons, right? So, mine is, I think that there is a Bible Belt section of the black community that we don't like to acknowledge exists, but we watched that group get disillusioned with George Bush's election back in, I believe that was 2004. I think that is what Joe Biden is setting himself up at risk for again. I think he's going to lose a percentage of the voting black community by going in all in. Now, being supportive to them is one thing, but going all in, I think that's going to lose him black votes. So I'll just shorten it up that way.
And I agree with you.
To the floor.
Unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is people that are extreme right, I think that's how the spectrum goes, extreme right, they're just going to flat out not vote or vote for the independent incumbent, which is not going to make the situation any better. You have to pick a majority population of whoever is over. Like if an independent person, which, correct me if I'm wrong, has ever been elected into office,
Never.
you cannot go and vote independent and be like, okay, well, I'm not going to vote for this person or that person. I'm going to vote for this person. No, you idiots. You have to vote for somebody that's actually going to be able to get into office.
And that was our biggest, one of our biggest debates when Trump was running that election. We had impassioned arguments about you have to vote for
The worst of the worst.
The one that can be, whoever can be Trump, because we don't want Trump. And people are like, Trump isn't going to be that bad, you're fear mongering. And then Trump got in office and did all this fuck shit, and now they all shutting the fuck up and looking stupid because of what he's done. But circling back, were you done?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to pick bad or worse. You're going to have to ride with Joe and hope that he doesn't just full on go, okay, yes, we realize that there are extreme race issues right now after Trump's been in office for the almost 4 years that he's been here. And you're going to hope that he says, okay, you know what, LGBTQIA may not need to be my focus right now. I need to fix these race relations and these race issues that are going on. But he's saying this because there's a population of, clearly from his research, LGBTQ that has not
IA.
voted. Yes, IA. They haven't voted, which is why he's going after that group of people. Because there are a lot of people that are in support of that may not vote for him because he's not Republican, so they would vote for him because that's something that he's focusing on, whereas Trump is not.
Yeah, I feel only slightly different. I don't think that Joe Biden is in danger of losing black votes because he supports, I guess what we'll call the gay agenda, the LGBTQIA, John Jacob, Muhammad Smith. I don't think that that's why he will lose votes. I think that he will lose the black vote because he's made that the priority. And unfortunately, by making them the priority, you deprioritize black people. You deprioritize Sandra Bland and Alton Sterling. You deprioritize that. And I think that's where he's going to run into the issue. I do believe that, I'll give you along the Bible Belt, there are some people that have stood against homosexuality. But I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's a significant enough number to damage him. I think that where the damage,
Well, let me
where
ask
the
you
damage
this.
will go.
You don't think it's enough to damage him that way, but we're in Georgia right now, and the Bible thumpers are the ones that just got that abortion law passed.
No,
So
I disagree. That's not true. The abortion law was passed by white people because white people in general, because they have a fear of a black planet. They have a fear of a multicultural United States. So they've been doing things, killing innocent blacks
That's what
and passing the law
that's the
so that
government.
right.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like the Bible thumpers, like if you go
I
and
don't
look
believe.
at any,
I don't believe it.
if you just look at any of the postings of where they're saying Disney and Netflix are pulling out out of Georgia because this law is being passed, and you look at the tens of thousands of comments that are made, it's by Bible thumpers, not by people saying, "Oh, good, we need to protect the white." No, it's by
Well,
Bible
no one's
thumpers.
going to say we need to protect the white race. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They're going to disguise it. They're not going to admit it. I personally feel this whole abortion thing is a part of a fear of of losing the white majority in the United States. White people have more abortions than any other race, in the United States. It is disproportionate because they're a larger percentage of the country. So of course they have more, but their percentage of abortions is disproportionate to blacks and Hispanics. So not only is it more of them doing it, it's a bigger percentage of them doing it. And I think that's why the abortion ban is coming to play. And so I disagree with I don't fear Bible thumpers. Like,
Well,
they haven't proven to be as big of a what do you call them people? The people that support different campaigns.
Influence.
That's another word. So they're gonna have vicious
Lobbyists.
lobby. God damn, Tory, that's why you here.
Okay.
They haven't proven to be a big enough lobbyist. I think all of that shit is happening because white people
okay.
scared
So
the
the only
country
thing,
becoming black.
and I don't know that that's as much of the case in 2019. What I can tell you about is what happened in 2004 with the George Bush campaign, and the way that they were able to sway the black Bible thumper voter population was with the issue of abortion. It was with the issue of abortion and with the issue of homosexuality, because we all know that being against those two issues are where the Black Baptist Bible Belt and the white Bible Belt,
And that is
and
from
that is what,
the Carolinas on down through Alabama and Mississippi,
and
even
moving-
extending into Texas.
and moving west, like you said. So that is why that is of a concern, and that is why it is of a concern when talking about Joe Biden versus the man we named our Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award for. And yes, I am segueing again, Donald Trump. So let's just get this out of the way. Our Donald
more
Trump Shut Up
race
Stupid
issues.
Award winner this week is, what is this?
Linda
Lisa-
Fairstein.
Linda-
So what was the
Linda
Joe Biden story?
Joe
That was
Biden
a what
was
the
supporting the
fuck story.
Oh, what the
LGBTQIA.
fuck story?
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
fuck story?
yeah.
Him making like
Okay,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I gotta keep up, JB. I'm moving fast on me. I'm trying to keep up. Okay.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
we trying to make sure we're not 2.5 hours this
Right,
Because
right.
the Tory,
Right.
normally.
So, Linda Farstein, is that her name? Is it?
Linda
Fair,
Dumbass.
fair,
Do we
fair.
care? Do
But
we
she's
care
not
about-
fair. She's not fair.
She's not fair. She's bitch. So hey ho, you losing all your shit.
Yeah.
So
Cancel Fairstein is what's going on now. on Twitter.
Fartstein. There we go. That
Yeah.
works.
Whatever.
Linda
I
Fartstein
like Farstein.
is being canceled
Bitch.
by everybody and their mama. Penguin House, I believe, was one of her longtime publishers, and they've dropped her. Amazon was pushing her books. They've removed her thus far. What was it? Vassar. She was kicked off of the board there.
Yeah.
Has she been kicked off of the nonprofit she's working for?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So she's kicked off there, and people are like, "You need to pay."
She was the prosecutor who spearheaded, she led the prosecution and then continues even to this day to assert that the Central Park Five, the young black boys who were accused of raping that, I forgot the lady's name who was raped, but anyway, DNA evidence went on to prove their innocence in the case. The woman was actually raped by a serial rapist, right? This lady Linda Farstein led the prosecution against the Central Park Five, and despite the fact that she led just a nefarious investigation.
It was definitely nefarious, and it was what's the word?
Obstreperous.
It was obstreperous.
It wasn't obstreperous.
No, because it wasn't obvious. Like that's like the beginning of the stop and frisk. Like we're still dealing with stop and frisk.
Yeah.
It was obstreperous to me.
Geeking out for a second, a very, some would say, nefarious investigation.
And obstreperous.
There were continual pieces of evidence that showed, number one, that the woman was raped by one person instead of 5 people. Number 2, there was a single
That's the part that
point
totally
of
blew
DNA
my mind.
evidence. Yeah, she continued to but
my thing is, if the 3 of us went to a park right now, not even a big park, a small park, the park up the street from here. If we went to this park, a smaller park, kicking it, hanging out, it is extremely possible for 12 different events to happen in one little park. Why in the fuck did she not understand that at 9:06 this was happening, at 9:09 this was happening, at 9:15 this was happening? It is extremely possible
in
for
Central Park,
Central Park,
the largest city park in the United States today.
and she can't understand how multiple groups, like just because we hang out today on Shmonday does not mean that on Tuesday when y'all go out and you're opposite, we are not all tied together because we're all black. And that's in essence what she did.
Yeah.
You're all 15, you're all black, we're gonna pull all of you in, we're gonna stop and frisk. And the thing that was the most fucked up is one of the little boys that was charged wasn't even there.
Yep.
And she's still insisting that they're guilty.
Well, we talked about this earlier about how the justice system does all of these fucked up things. They operate kind of like organized crime does. We're going to blackmail you into confessing. If you don't confess, or if you don't rat out people, which will endanger your life and your family's life, then we'll hit you with these horrible charges. These things happen, and this is the road that she was going down. And they tend to do this when they want to go after a black, quote, rapist, unquote. That's their, that gets the white women really scared.
The thing that really upsets me is the fact that you check statistics. Statistically, it's white men that do more raping than black, Hispanic, or any other ethnicity.
Okay, so I got to jump in with a little Me Too for a second now. Black culture is different, and what is categorized as rape in black culture is different. However, what is statistically accurate is that there are more serial rapists amongst white men. I'm not going to ride with you in terms of there's more rape in white culture.
There's black rapes that happen because
I just wanted to say that out loud.
It's 2 in 4 black females have been sexually assaulted that do not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a fucking horrible statistic. 2 in 4 have been sexually assaulted.
Serial rape is something.
But serial rape is
something different.
Like, typically, unfortunately, in the black community, when it's a rape that's happened, it's usually an uncle, a cousin, a family friend, somebody that's close, like
it's a
close
domestic
knit.
situation.
Correct. Now, in these instances where a door is getting kicked down, yes, if you have 10 rapes, 2 of them will be a minority. The other 8 are a Caucasian man. That's just the statistic. Like, how do you put 5 kids, one of them saying, I've never even had sex before, I don't know what this is. You throw him in, somebody that wasn't there, and then you got 3 other kids that you're kind of like, what the
She
fuck?
was on some pre-civil rights shit. No question.
And I definitely want to mention that when they see us, a miniseries by Ava DuVernay that is on Netflix now, depicts the story of the Central Park Five. That's right?
Central Park 5.
And their struggle with this situation, they're being found innocent ultimately, and the entire journey. So you definitely want to watch that. And this series is what brought Linda Fartstein to the
Absolutely.
public's eye.
For the
saying
second
black-
time.
For the second, well, yeah.
They had a documentary on it. It happened in '89. They had a documentary in like '97, '98, something like that. So this is the second time, but it's being brought to us by a black producer at this point.
So it's
On a
trying to-
much larger platform. Like,
Yeah.
whereas
You don't get much bigger than Netflix.
everybody
If you got
doesn't have
Netflix, you don't
IP.
even have cable.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is big, and I'm very glad that Ava DuVernay did this because it's not something that's over with. This is something that happens on a regular basis. Black men, black women are still being pulled over because you drive a nice car in a different area.
Institutional injustice.
It's still happening.
Our reality, no question.
So
And I want to speak a little bit to shit. So what's I put in my cup? I don't know.
JB, let's ask you this question. Is there something that can happen to her outside of her being dropped from her publishers and things? Is the statute of limitations over with for them finding out that she lied under oath while prosecuting these kids? Like, is there something that can happen?
That's a stretch, but the best they can get her on in terms of what happened in the court is perjury. That's a stretch. So perjury, obstruction of justice is a stretch. But that's what they'll try and get her on. And I think they should. No question about it. Because what she did was horrible.
I doubt that
Morally
will happen.
reprehensible. Yeah.
I like 90% doubt that that'll happen.
Yep.
I think what'll happen is her reputation will take the hit that it's taking,
Yep.
and it will end, the life that she's had.
I mean, she had
at this
17
moment.
bestsellers. It's kind of hard to just kind of snatch her lifestyle. Like, the income has stopped for the moment, but these kids spent, 7 years plus in prison? So, I don't think
Fucking
that's
shame.
efficient enough. Like,
Fucking shame.
so maybe Jay-Z can help them out.
Maybe, or to get the beehive on the bitch. You know how the beehive at
But we segueing over
to
to
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
I want to talk about the beehive shit. We'll talk about it
We'll
later.
talk about
Later.
him because that was funny to me.
That was it.
So shout out to Jay-Z.
Hove.
You did that shit. We proud of you. Like, you went from being worth $1 billion with your wife, which that's still life goals. Like, I don't know any.
No, he went from being worth a couple $1,000s as a just hustler in New York.
Hold on. He was worth $1 billion with his
I
wife.
know, but I'm going
just,
back.
Yes,
let's
we
do the
know that's
whole
why
picture.
he's getting the Hustle Award.
Okay.
But we talked about this earlier. Like, they just announced that he and Bae were worth $1 billion together. She's my bae. Okay? She's worth $1 billion with him. And this was 2 years ago that they had made the announcements that they hit the Forbes list. So in less than 2 years, he is worth $1 billion solo, coming from
Hustling, street nigga,
not
living in the
graduating.
projects of Marcy, living in Marcy projects, not graduating, being a hype man for Jazzo,
We
being
talk
an
about his
independent
street stuff
rapper,
all the
being
time. Yeah, but his self-education though, like he got around great people and learned.
Oh my gosh, shout out. Hey, auntie. My
Learned,
auntie just logged on.
this is the man who talked to politicians, philosophers, thinkers to understand how to really, he played the small game and became a boss in the small game. He learned the big game.
He's
That's why I
self-educated,
respect him
self-taught.
so
Like,
much. Not to cut you off, but we always talk about how he came from the streets, but we got to talk about where he went when he left the streets.
I think
too,
that's
'cause
something that
boom.
it doesn't get talked enough
Yeah.
about because they're like, well, Jay-Z was a hustler. Yes, but
Yeah.
he chose to teach himself.
Forbes cover story with Warren Buffett. And
Thank you.
his conversation with Warren Buffett is
Thank you.
available on YouTube.
Thank you.
Conversations with Barack Obama.
Thank you.
Available.
His investments, the things that he's done, Tidal, how he's got his own podcast that you can't even get on, the music, how he set up things. Like, they just exclusively released all of this stuff Prince on the 7th. Like, all of the things that this man has done, him and his kids, him and his wife, him and his mother. He is a supporter of LGBTQIA. He is a supporter of the black community. He does help out.
He bails people out of jail that,
Right.
that get arrested for protests. He did the New York Times op-ed about the criminal justice system and how it's unfair to black people. I mean, he supported Barack Obama in both elections.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the point of what he did when he left the streets, because a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, a street nigga did this." I'm really looking at Jay-Z as a street
He said he
nigga.
was a businessman.
Well,
I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man.
and what that means is, like, he became more than what he started from. You know what I'm saying? I think that is the important lesson with Jay-Z. Yeah, you start where you start, and you learn and you grow from that foundation. But it's about where you go. You know what I'm saying? And it's about where Jay-Z has gone. That's the lesson. That's the model.
And
No, I'm not a street nigga who's gonna. No, because Nip didn't do that. Jay-Z didn't do that. They left the streets. You know what I'm saying? But they recognize that's where they're
very
from.
important distinction you're making. I do still refer to him as that to a degree, so that other street niggas know that they can do it.
You can rise up from
Yeah,
that.
because
Absolutely.
if you
Absolutely.
go Jay-Z's a businessman, then the street nigga go, I ain't a businessman, so I'm gonna
But you
become
can
Jay-Z.
choose to be
But you
a
can-
businessman. You don't have to sit
I agree,
there.
I agree, but you have to. I think that you have to
Start where
say
you came from.
he's a street
And that's
nigga
fine.
that
I
became this, so that now every street nigga knows they can become that.
They can become a billionaire.
You can't let it go. You
You
can't
don't-
cut it out of the history.
100% true.
7
100.
streams of income. Like, he's got 7 streams of income. He's
I
not
got
sitting on here
5.
doing,
Well,
like, it's
I-
not just music. It's music. It's investments. It's this. It's that.
It's art.
It's
It's title. It's Duce. It's
Alcohol.
real estate. It's title. Well, I think it's title. It's his actual.
It's
records.
management. He's doing
It's management.
artist,
Artist
and
management.
athlete.
It's his
Artist
fashion
and
line.
athlete. The
Yeah.
fashion line. It's everything. Like,
Fashion line.
he didn't say, okay, you know what, I'm not educated, so I can't. He didn't sit over here and just fall to the wayside and just fall out because of what his circumstances were. He chose to rise above. And I mean, if that's not inspirational enough to say, you know what, you really do deserve the Nipsey Hussle Award, I don't know
And
what
no
it is.
record label wanted to sign him.
Nobody did.
So everybody said, oh, he's whack, we don't want to do that shit. So he started his own record label, got an independent record deal with a small company, and then moved on to Def Jam, and then became the Jay-Z that we know. So it wasn't like he walked on the scene and niggas was like, yeah, Jay, yeah. Niggas said, no, we won't sign him.
We don't want
He's not good. And then he did his own music, he put it out independently, then got an independent record label to back him, and then got a major label deal, and then did all of these other things. And I think that's key, man.
It was
That's
dope.
key because what I want people watching us and people watching Jay-Z to know, they told him no. They told him he wasn't
He
good
been
enough.
told no a million
They
times.
told him he was whack. They said nobody's gonna do this shit. And he said, well, I'll distribute it myself. And then his first album, as great as it was, didn't do good. It didn't. It did poor, to be honest. And then he managed to get picked up by Def Jam, who had put one of his singles on the Nutty Professor soundtrack. And his album was great, so they believed in it, but it didn't, monetarily, it didn't produce.
Well, let me ask you
And
this.
then, yeah, what?
Keeping it simple, you're a salesman. So, what is the one word that a customer, a client, somebody can say to you that will motivate you more than any other?
No. You tell me no, I'm turning up. I'm turning up. No? You sure? Let me
Tell me I can't
and pour something out.
Tell
Exactly.
me I'm gonna fail, because fuck you, nigga. Like, you forgot who I am, and so now you need to be reminded. It's just that simple. That is the mantra that Jay-Z lived by, and that is why we strive to emulate him, and that is why the world should.
And can I give us some credit right now?
Yeah.
We can get a part of the Nipsey Hussle Award. The partner in Kickback is getting a part of it, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is our 50th episode as a podcast. We've done hundreds of episodes as a internet radio show, or if you want to call it a Facebook TV show. What we've done over the last 7 years, and I'm about to give y'all roses while y'all still here. So I decided I wanted to do this show 7+ years ago. JB was a little concerned about if he could give me the level of commitment that the show would need. Then he decided that he would put some things to the side to give me that level of commitment. And we started the show in April of 2012. Internet radio, never had done it before. Well, we dabbled in it, but never had our own show, our own venture. Decided that the radio station we were with wasn't supporting us, wasn't giving us what we needed, and we didn't need them. So we left and did it on our own. We did the visuals on Ustream, and then Facebook came out with this thing called Facebook Live. And we said, we're going to do a show on Facebook Live. That's video. Fuck it. Why not? And we did it there, and our thoughts was to make it a TV show. So being on Facebook Live as a TV show was great. We did that. We have had several iterations of the show. New Demand Show with JB Frank, Kickback TV live from Atlanta, and now a pod named Kickback.
It's a pod named Kickback, dog.
And we've had several hosts. Love to you all, positive energy to you all. You have all helped us along the way. You've all been integral parts of what we have done, and it can't be diminished. Love you all. Give a fuck. You all contributed and you all helped. But, and not a slight to any co-host we've ever had, JB, and I think you would agree with me. We've never had anybody like Tori. Tori is goals. Like when me and JB sit around and talk about who we want to bring on the show, who we can have on the show, Tori is, am I lying? She has hit every fucking button that we wanted before she got here.
Yeah, you're talking about two intellectuals. So when we talk about, the gaps that needed to be filled, we broke it down into specific categories, and it was like, she's cute. Okay. She's opinionated. Okay. She promotes. Okay. She comes up with great ideas, new ideas.
She makes our mugs. Check.
And now you filling in check boxes that we didn't even know existed. Yeah, we just gotta keep it honest with that. Like you're special. I don't know why the fuck nobody else is making $1 million off of the wonderful things that you do, but
People suck.
well,
They don't listen and they're stubborn.
we'll happily get rich with you though. So
Facts.
yeah.
Facts. And,
That's what it is.
So I'm very thrilled about the direction of the show. We've been stepping outside of our box. We've been bringing different guests in, and we've been making strides. And our numbers are up, especially in France. Oui, bonjour, bon. All that good stuff.
I'm gonna use Spanish. Cállate tu boca.
Most people.
You don't tell me cállate. I talk when I want to talk. I speak Spanish too, and French, and English, and Arabic.
Most of you who listen
I know
to this,
K.I.T.
even if
K.I.T.
you're in France or in Germany, shout out to Germany also.
Oh no, you didn't.
Y'all speak English, so listen to the English. Don't listen to us French, because
That is the worst. Like, DC should not speak French.
no, we can speak French.
Just him?
Yeah.
That works.
Wait a minute, wait. You know,
Francais.
yeah. Japon now, nigga.
Let me
Japon
tell you,
now.
I am upset though because my family's Creole and my mama wouldn't let us learn.
Why not?
So she understands French, but she don't speak it. And my great grandmother spoke French fluently, so I'm upset because I should have been trilingual.
You're a nerd though. Did you study Latin?
No, I did Spanish.
Okay, so yeah, if you look at the Latin roots behind the word, so there are a group of languages, Romance languages, French, Spanish, German, a little bit, Italian, definitely. They all are based on Latin. So if you study Latin, you can understand all of those languages.
Well, I know when I read stuff that's in Spanish and look at Italian stuff, I can
Exactly.
understand almost.
Exactly.
So it's like, oh, okay, that's damn near the same thing.
If you understand Spanish, you could go to Italy and like understand
Right.
what they're. It's weird.
And shout out to Haiti because she's always yelling at me. I used to be able to speak Spanish damn near fluently. That was my homegirl in Spanish class that I used to get in trouble with. Like, we used to stay in trouble because she.
You look like the type that would be in trouble all the time.
Let me.
You
No.
look like the type.
No. I was a good kid. When I got called to the principal's office, I got called to the principal's office because it was
She
something
was a
that was
good
above
kid.
and beyond.
Right.
No.
I believe that.
Look at here now. I graduated with a 3.9 GPA and I was the vice president of my senior class. Do not try me. I was a good kid. My
So what
mama,
happened?
my mama has a
So,
whole.
she
What
think that
happened?
makes her a good kid.
My,
Like,
right,
no,
right,
I
right.
legitimately was until I went to college, and then that was a whole different situation. No, I was a good kid. I was straight A student, geeked out. Took
So was I.
no.
No.
I was nothing like you. I was nothing like you. I was legit a dorky.
I was the nerd. you
No,
love to hate.
I was a roller bang side part.
No, you weren't. I don't
Yes,
believe
I
that.
was.
I don't believe it.
Tortoiseshell glasses, knee-length short wearing, boy cargo pants with a hammer hook on the side, overall flannel shirt wearing dork in high school.
I wasn't even that.
I was all of that.
I wasn't.
And
yeah.
what made me start to not be such a nerd and to like wear girl things, my father, rest in peace, threatened me my junior year in high school that I was either going to put on a dress or he was pulling me off the track team. And I thought I was going to die. So I put on a dress. And that was like,
You got an adjust right now.
I guess we should thank Pops for his
Yeah.
fatherly.
you have to
influence.
remember when I put on a dress in, let's see, I graduated in 01. So in 99, when I put on a dress,
Shit. That's crazy.
in 1999, it was baby tees and like fitted skirts with big splits. That was the wrong thing to do for your little 15-year-old daughter because that was
Yeah.
when I thought at the time that I was fat in high school. Like until I was 19 in college, and a guy was like, "You are not.
Asses
You're
came
not
out.
that kind of fat. You're PH18."
Asses came out.
I've always had one. No, like I wore boy pants until junior year in high school. Like I said hammer hook for a reason. I wore Route 66 jeans.
You know how excited you would have been to watch her come out of her shell? Just be like,
You know, we were like Tori Jack fat if she ever wore some.
right.
But I'm
You be
sure.
watching. You be watching.
I am sure.
You be like, I bet you put Tori in a dress.
I am
Yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna ask her to prom.
Yeah.
I am
Watch,
sure. My
what happens.
classmates
Watch.
thought that shit. Because when I tell you, I was so bad. Me and my sister, hey Karen, I call her by her first name. So me and my
Well, that's what
sister,
you call it.
her anonymous name, she knows what it is. So me and my sister were two dorks growing up, and my sister fine as hell. I don't give a shit what anybody says. She's like 5'9".
Hold up. Unless you continue. My boy Chris knows you and your sister.
Who is Chris?
He worked at some grocery store 10 years ago, John.
Wow.
Or with
She
you.
never worked at a grocery store. Who the hell is Chris?
Did you work at a grocery store?
I worked at a grocery
He
store.
worked with you.
Who is
And
Chris?
I worked with him in my 9 to 5.
Last name?
I'm not gonna say it on the show.
Whisper it to me.
I don't remember it.
White, black?
He black.
I don't know.
He's
who
about,
Chris is.
he's not 12, another one. He's early 30s, I think.
That doesn't help me.
But you were a little bit older than him.
Yeah,
And
she's younger than me. That's my
right,
baby sister.
and he worked with you at some grocery store back in whatever day that was.
I didn't like no little
And-
boys at my register when I was working at Kroger.
He didn't say you liked him.
I didn't like nobody.
He didn't
It was
say you
one.
did.
It was one
He,
bagger.
he watched the show.
It's one
And
bagger
he was
that
like, I
had
know
one
Tori.
back.
And he told me to tell you.
He don't know me.
He
So
told me to
I
tell
don't
you.
know who he is. Chris, who are you?
I'll show you. We
This
Facebook.
is an
I'll show you his
entry.
Facebook.
This is
But he.
But
but-
look,
but-
this is
but-
how
but-
it's been forever.
Let me tell you why I brought it up. Because he was like,
I was a nerd.
he was like, oh, Tori's in the show. Oh yeah. Like Tori bad. Tori. Oh yeah. And he was like, Tori got a sister that's bad too. I was like, I ain't never seen a sister.
Oh, my sister fine as hell. I'm telling you.
He told me.
My sister
But
gorgeous.
that's why I'm bringing it up. Because he was like, yeah, Tori's sister bad.
Who the hell is Chris?
I'm gonna show you. I'll show you a picture.
I remember one.
And he told me to tell you hi.
I remember one cashier, no, two baggers when I worked at Kroger. Will Prescott, because you know how hard it is to find a Will Prescott? And Zay. Those are the only two baggers. First of all, those are the only two baggers I would let at my damn register. Because everybody else didn't want to work. And I was tired of them. Like, I'm ringing up 67 items a minute. Like, you can't stand down there if you're not ringing
He
fast.
said one day he got the nerve to come talk to you.
No,
He's
he's
like,
lying.
do it. And
You
then
lying.
he said
He's
the
lying.
line was too long. He was like, I was like, this is my day. And then he tried to
At
approach
this
me.
current
And
point in time,
everybody.
he is lying because nobody ever tried to talk to me when I was at work.
He probably
Ever.
did. This was.
I had
He said he didn't because
I
he
had
was
guards. I had guards.
Well, that don't mean he didn't try to talk to you.
I had guards.
He just,
They stood
but
at the end of my
he
register.
knows you. And 2 weeks ago, because when the first time you was on the show, he was like, I know Tori, I know her sister too. And I was like,
This is a
and
conversation.
then,
Karen, we gonna have a conversation because I'm sure you like, who the hell is Chris? She and I
I'm
are
gonna
both
show you.
thinking-
I'm gonna show you the picture.
When you show me a picture, I'm gonna send it to her. She'll be like, hell no, you don't know our ass.
he obviously knows
my
you.
sister.
He might not be friends with you, but
Let
he
me
knows
tell
you.
you, my sister and I
He clearly knows you. He named the job.
I was a dork in high school.
I don't think you were in high school. You were older than him. He was in.
My
like,
sister
college.
and I went
He
to
was
high
in
school together.
He was in high school. I think y'all were a little bit older than him. Or you were older than him.
My sister and I went to high school together. She's younger than me. I'm 36. She's 33. We went to school together. We ran track and
He
played
didn't go to
volleyball
high school
together.
with you. He worked at the
Then
grocery
I
store.
don't. He don't know my sister then, because if he didn't go to high school, he lying.
He told me.
He lying. He lying.
So,
I don't believe Chris. Like Chris ain't lying. I fuck with Chris.
So, I don't know anything about this whole Kroger thing.
All
The
I know is
mystery
that I was a
will
dork.
Unfold.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. What's our next topic?
And we're
Let's
gonna
get
put him
into
on the what the fuck
Eargasm
story of
because
the week.
there's a ton of great music.
Is that the next story?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you want to insert the Beehive.
We'll do that after the music. Because we never get to talk about music. So music then we have.
I'm excited about it.
So first and foremost, all of these songs we're going to discuss are on a pod named Kickback playlist. And you can get that on Apple Music. And I tell you what, this week I'll put it on Spotify too. Because I want everybody to have it. So a pod named Kickback playlist has some great songs on it. Some new songs on it.
Are you gonna do the Spotify playlist like you do the Apple,
What do you mean?
where you have two of them and you keep one?
No, you gonna do it, Tori. You gonna do all
I
that.
don't have
That's a
access to
lot.
all. Look, if he would just leave it and create a new playlist every week like the normal human being, then he wouldn't have to keep updating.
But getting people to subscribe to a new playlist every week is taxing. I'd rather them not have to do no work.
What if they don't like it?
I thought it was two of them. I thought it was
It
the
is.
classic jump and
It is,
and the new
which
jump.
is
So,
what I'm saying. If he does Netflix or playlist of the week, rather than deleting everything off and adding to it, why not just make a new playlist?
Every single week.
Aren't you adding songs on the playlist?
Yeah,
and
but you
deleting
think
everything
people?
off?
You think people? I'm not doing everything.
If they like it, then they can keep it, and if they don't have to.
I think my
And
idea
then
is better.
that will give you more
I think my-
content.
let's talk about what's on the playlist now.
My favorite song of the week, my favorite song right now of the
See,
year.
I be ending them arguments.
Thank you, JB. Is Tyler the Creator
Sit in the middle.
with Earthquake. That is my favorite song right now, by far, and it's an R&B type song. Tyler the Creator is a rapper with Odd Future producer. He plays all of his own instruments, and he put out what's pretty much described as an R&B album, and he killed it. But this one song, Earthquake, is EARF, Earthquake, is my favorite song. We got Chris Brown's back,
That jump was
leading
alright.
into his new album,
That jump was
And
alright.
and he has a single with Drake, and that jump rocks.
Yeah, that jump was alright.
You got it, baby, you got it. That's twice I'm trying to tell you. You got it, girl, you got it.
Don't look at me.
Because
I'm like,
you're like our best
horizontal
close ever.
stripe, she'll
You
wear
got it.
it.
You got it.
So he's oddball out.
Yeah.
You got it, Tori. You got it. You got it, Tori. You got
You and
it.
Chris need to shut up. So on to the next.
Chris Brown? Oh, Chris, they know you from the grocery store.
Chris, your fake friend from the grocery store.
What else we got on there? We got JB's favorite new artist, Griselda Records.
Yeah.
With Benny the
that
Butcher,
is dope.
Conway the
Yeah.
Machine,
Yo.
and West Side Gun. They put out a new track with DJ Premier called Headlines. It is gritty, gangster, old school New York hip hop with a current twist. And I'm gonna throw it to JB.
Yeah, it brings me back to like Onyx and EPMD, them old school New York niggas rapping over old school New York hip hop beats, like straight up like DJ beats, you know what I'm saying? Like grimy, like we needed to hear from the streets of New York, you know what I'm saying? Like it's been a minute. New York niggas have been doing shit to try and stay current. But
Sounds like Atlanta, keep it
right,
running.
yeah, but you know, I mean, like ASAP Rocky, them type of niggas were on that Atlanta field trying to stay current. But he went back to the old like New York shit, and I'm fucking with it, Joe, because that's how I got baptized in hip hop. You know, listening to New York hip hop
Facts.
back in the day. So hearing this was like hearing Wu-Tang back in the day, like I said, hearing you know, Onyx back in the day, EPMD. It was that old school type of shit, and I dug that shit.
It's hood, it's grimy.
Right.
Well, you're a lady, Tori. How'd you feel about this old school,
I liked it.
grimy New York shit?
I was cool with it. I like music. So for it to not be the same in the background, that was really. So I say press play and let it ride.
Press play. And the song is called Headlines. It's by DJ Premier, who did the beat. But it features the Griselda artists, which are Benny the Butcher, Call Me the Machine, and West Side Gun. And there's a video out for it as well. And it's hood, it's grimy, and I love it. Speaking of EBMD, Eric Sermon has put out a new album.
That jump
And
crazy.
hell yeah, they got the song Southern Girl, which is amazing. Frankie Beverly, Loop, and with Big Crit, and that rocks. And one more time for Drake, Chris Brown featuring Drake. Don't sleep on that record. It's called Guidance. No Guidance.
So
Don't sleep on that record.
it's supposed to be a whole collaboration album, supposedly.
Well, the next album is going to be Chris Brown's full length.
No,
They
they're
might do one
supposed to be-
together.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but
Supposedly
before that
it
one
is-
comes,
it
Chris
is
Brown's
a Chris
album.
Brown Drake collab, and we talked about it earlier about collaborations with Chris Brown. I didn't know who Tyga was, and I let New know that I had no clue who the hell Tyga was.
Really?
I'm
And
not a
Tyga's
California music
was
listener,
a former Young Money artist on Lil Wayne's record label, Young Money.
but prior
And then he
to
went
that,
solo.
but prior to Young Money, Tyga was out, and he was
Yeah, he's
popping
a
in
little brother.
California.
He's a little brother of the Gym Class Heroes.
Yes.
Remember that group? One of the guys in that group is Tyga's big brother.
So he
So
was
yes.
out doing his thing in California before he got signed to Young Money. He got signed to Young Money later on, kind of, was it after? I think it was after the Chris Brown collab.
No, he was signing Young Money before that.
It was before?
He was signing him. The first time we heard of Tyga was on Young Money. He was on
The
Young
first
Money.
time
He's
I
been on
heard-
Young Money for like 8 years.
The first time I heard about Tyga, I was working at Wet Seal.
How many years ago?
My child was 3. He's 13 now. And that was before all the Young Money stuff came out.
Well, I mean, I think that's right.
It was the
But
Lime and the
Tyga's
Coconut. The Lime and the Coconut was the first song that I heard from him.
I'm not a
That's
traditional
why
Tyga
I'm
fan.
like, I didn't know who he was, and around that time, before Young Money was when I remember Tyga.
He was on Young Money before Nicki Minaj was, just to give you an idea.
Right,
I
I
don't
know
know
that.
the
That-
timeline.
But what I'm saying
No,
is, the Lime and the Coconut album came out because we had to sell it at Wet Seal, and that's what I remember. And now
What is West Seal?
Wet Seal's a clothing store. Look, this is shit was bad because Kanye was at Wet Seal, Kanye, Tyga, and Jordan Sparks. We had to sell their albums at Wet Seal. It was bad. That's how you know music was
What the
bad.
fuck is West Seal? I never even heard of this
It's a
shit.
clothing store, a
Where?
female clothing store that's in the mall.
Oh,
So,
I wouldn't know.
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think before he got signed to Young Money, the album with Chris Brown came out.
No.
Or
I know
they
for
came
a
out
fact.
simultaneously.
I know for a fact he was on Young Money for years before the Chris Brown album. I know that for a fact.
So are they just not pushing him?
Yes.
Makes sense. So
But I know for a fact. By the
Tyga,
time,
I heard about
by the
him
time
when
the
he
Chris
had-
Brown album came out, he had been on Young Money for like 8 years,
he's
6 years.
He's got a track called "The Lime and the Coconut," and that's the one that I knew about before everything else. But back to
I'm
Chris
pretty-
Brown.
yeah.
Chris Brown, every collab that he has ever had has been the shit. I can't think of anything that you're like, the fuck?
I really can't argue
Chris
with you.
Brown
Yeah, that's real.
is just as good of a rapper as he is singer.
Facts.
And I thought,
Breezy.
what are you doing?
He's one of those artists. Like he can dance, he can sing, he can rap.
Triple
He can
threat.
act.
Yeah,
He done movies.
I mean, if only he used his powers for good consistently. You know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
think at this point he don't care anymore. He's like, I got my money, I'm doing my thing, I'm happy, I got
He
custody
put
of my
out-
child.
He put out a
He'll get older and
50-song album 2 years ago.
And it was great.
50 songs. I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't listen to every song. And Chris Brown isn't always my preferred choice.
Well, me being your girl, hit play, let it ride out.
I rock with him, but sometimes he gets in his pop bag. I don't like that. His R&B bag, I do like. His hip hop bag, I do like.
But didn't he start more pop than he did anything else?
Well, I didn't like that. I didn't like that though.
So you like Chris Brown, you're not a fan. We can say that.
Yeah.
That's okay. So Chris Brown fans like the whole 50
I bet you do.
tracks.
If Jay-Z put out a 50-track album, I would play it all fucking day.
Right. So
Tupac
all
had
I'm
50 track
saying
album.
is the 50 tracks bumping if you're a Chris Brown fan.
And this new album that's coming
30
next
tracks.
month is going to be 30 tracks. And
And I'm excited.
I personally think this is going to be probably the best album of his career.
Yep.
Because he's had some ups and downs with things with Rihanna and all that other shit that we're not going to get into. But this is the first time he's putting out an album where
Nothing's going on.
there's
He's
no
happy.
drama. He just doing
Regular
regular nigga doing
Doing
good
his thing.
things and doing music.
Nothing wrong
And
with
we
that.
haven't seen that since the beginning of his
It's
career.
gonna be exciting.
So this is
to
the
see.
first time it's okay to like Chris Brown.
Mhm.
There's been an issue every time you put out an album. It's been a reason why you could not like him.
Yeah, it's
Or why
been some
somebody could-
controversy
The
Yeah.
spray
for-
paint,
yeah.
the
Right.
Rihanna situation,
This is
the
the first
Rihanna
album
situation,
and the Rihanna situation.
like that hit his ass like 3 times.
Yeah, and this is the first time that it's okay to like Chris Brown.
It was okay to
Yeah.
like him on the other album.
The 50
So,
song.
And fuck it, I went to his concert last year, and when I say that is the best, and I got lawn seats, I'm sold on lawn seats.
I bet he's
Like,
a fuck of an entertainer live.
I
bet
danced.
he's a monster.
first of all, it was, what is that, Black Open, and I'd never heard of him before. At least I didn't think I'd heard of him
Yeah.
until he started performing. I was like, oh yeah, I know that song. But then Hurt opened for him.
Oh,
And
her was there?
I almost died. I was so happy. That was when I learned that she plays all her instruments. 'Cause I
Her
didn't
is
know.
a bad mother.
She is a beast. So I got to see her open
I hope she puts out an album this year.
and Chris Brown perform.
She was Grammy nominated last year.
I was
She's the
heaven.
shit. She's an R&B artist who many people don't know about, but she is fucking killing the game.
She doesn't get enough credit. Like, she is amazing. The fact that she plays her instruments, she does her thing, like, that,
I will.
I love her is the shit, just so y'all know. So Chris
Yeah, her
Brown,
is definitely the shit.
that concert lineup, it was amazing and
Yeah.
fantastic, and I loved it.
Real quick, Billions just chimed in and said, upstate New York, Rochester, and Buffalo
that's
State.
Billions?
Yup. Look out for 38 Special 2. 38 Special Rock 2. He's like he's not on Griselda, but he's like the homie doing his own thing. And he got some fire. 38 Special got some fire. He is a female artist that's rocking too. So yeah, definitely salute the Billions. And Jeremy watching, salute to little bro. And
Let's wind down last week, wind up next week, y'all. Let's finish up with Netflix and chill, man.
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, let's get it over with.
Really quickly,
So this is
when
on
they
you.
see us, it's on Netflix. We talked about it the whole show. Make sure you check it out. What we saying?
I was like, this Netflix and chill is on.
Oh, yeah,
I
so-
watched.
So Black Mirror is out. The new season of Black Mirror. Make sure you check that out.
Yeah.
Queen of the South is on USA every week. The first episode was last Thursday of season
It's streaming
5.
on Hulu, right?
It's on Netflix. The
Netflix.
first 4 seasons of Queen of the South are on Netflix. The 5th season started a couple days ago, Thursday, on USA. I recorded it, but I still haven't watched it. But Queen of the South is one of my favorite shows. I've never watched it live. I've only watched it on Netflix. So this will be my first year watching it week to week. Now I think I kind of want to let it build up, get 2-3 episodes in the can before I just dive in. But I love that show. I love that show.
Oh, one more Netflix and chill pick, y'all. For those of you who want to geek out a little bit, just remember the name Clarence Avant. Clarence Avant is the Black Godfather. And there is a show, a documentary movie on Netflix that talks about his life. It has statements from Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Muhammad Ali, Jamie Foxx, Quincy Jones, Harry Belafonte, old statements from Jackie Wilson.
Same as for me, I'm on it too.
So this is the guy who basically put all of these folks on. He launched all of their careers. For example, Lalo Schneider,
Yeah, and tell him his name. Tell him his name. Go ahead.
Clarence Avant,
The
the Black Godfather. Yeah.
And
I
he
know
looked
how
like
to
an
do it.
old granddad. Like he
Yeah,
looked like a regular,
Some
regular granddad.
motherfucker, but everybody's like, first time we met Clarence, first of all, the nigga was dressed to the, like, he was the flyest
But
nigga
his
in the
name
room.
is Clarence. Like you don't expect.
Baddest motherfucker in the building.
Shit, Clarence, what's his name? I be stroking.
Clarence Collins.
He was
Clarence Carter.
Yeah, Clarence Carter, yeah. Shout out to Clarence Next. It was so cool. Weekend was big for the Nation of Gods and there's 5%ers. It's some good Clarence.
So you gotta check out the Black Godfather because I watched it with my kids earlier today. It was one of them type of joints. It's like Black history in the flesh, you know. Cicely Tyson, he put her like right.
This nigga sound like
I
me.
need to be.
I just put you on. So you're on now. You're on. Be cool.
Watch the Black Godfather.
Don't hit me.
I mean, to hear like people like Bill
I'm the
Clinton,
Black
you
Godson.
got all of these
First of
black
all,
people.
I'm the Black Godson.
Anyway,
The redheaded stepchild more like it.
Wow, really?
I got a wire hanger at my
Really?
house. I'm wearing that next week.
Really?
we gotta get you a snapback.
I need it. I'm about to contact Amazon. Where the hell are my bracelets? My snapback rulers? So
I
can
broke my
pop his ass.
arm.
You broke it?
Well, you know, I went to the party last night. I came home, slept on the sofa,
You need sage.
and then I
And
woke
some
up.
crystals.
I woke up on the
And a
sofa,
white candle.
and I went into the room to take off the arms.
No.
And as soon as I grabbed it, it just fell apart in my hands.
You broke it.
You need some sage, a white
I
candle,
broke the chain.
and
That's
some
all.
crystals.
I'm going to get
You
it.
need.
It was old.
That's not how it works. You don't just remake. You don't go
I'm
by.
going to get a new one.
No, that's not how it works, homeboy. That's not how it works.
How does it work?
You need to rewire and redo the one that you have. You don't go. You just don't replace it. That's not how it works. I'm gonna hook you up with my girl Chanel.
Okay.
Chanel, we need your assistance. He broke his He think he just supposed to just go and get a new one. Help this brother out. We gonna help you out.
Okay.
That's what happens when you wear symbols of power. You know.
The devil always trying to break them apart.
No,
so
you
gotta
need
be-
some sage. Like you need to burn
I did
incense
good.
all
I
night.
did good. I was good.
No, you
Yes,
need to
sir.
burn some sage all night.
So before we get out of here, the Toronto Raptors up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors, and well,
Shout out to the Bayhive. Baby
Yeah.
Beyonce, Big Beyonce.
yeah, no shout out to them.
We're gonna ride out tonight.
No shout out to their
It
ass.
was funny. It was terrible,
It was
but it was
disrespectful.
funny.
I miss
It was petty. Well, the Golden State Warriors own the set next to Beyonce and Jay-Z, and
Wife.
she had wife. You know, his girlfriend, not wife,
I
girlfriend,
thought she was his wife.
girlfriend,
Oh,
girlfriend.
that's
Who's
why she
girlfriend?
snapped.
Oh,
Yeah, girlfriend.
the owner's girlfriend.
Yeah, and she asked Jay-Z and Beyonce they wanted drinks. And Jay's drink, she leaned over Beyonce and asked him if you
She
want to
hit one
line
of
me.
these numbers.
And B just kind of stepped
Yeah.
back, kind of looked at her, and then B just kind of like
This is what she
shuffled
did.
herself.
This is what Beyonce did.
And the Beehive, but this is the way it gets bad. The Beehive, which is
The
all Beyonce
Beehive
fans,
is overreacting.
they found who the lady was and sent her death threats nonstop. Millions of
shut
people.
her
Like
Twitter
this,
and
it
Instagram
made her
down.
like she cried. Like she was like, this is so upsetting. Like people want me to die
That's
because
true.
I asked
But
Jay Z
the thing-
if he wanted an extra lime in his drink.
The
And
thing
the Beehive
that
gotta chill the
threw
fuck
me-
out.
The thing that threw me off was they didn't do that to Beyonce when she was talking to Kaepernick it was a game.
Right. Well, they're the Beehive. They're not gonna do anything to Beyonce.
Well, the J Hive needs to get up and say something.
I am in the J Hive. I'm saying something. J Hive is speaking.
Y'all didn't
Beehive, y'all need to calm
Y'all-
the fuck down.
Now,
Like
didn't
sending
tell her
death
to
threats,
chill.
saying you want somebody to kill themselves.
I don't understand.
That's a little much. I understand you love Beyonce and all that shit. And Beyonce's publicist had to make a statement like, you know Beyonce doesn't want that woman to die. Come on. So y'all are doing too much.
I don't
And Beehive,
understand.
y'all are doing too much. And when I say Beehive, I'm including you, Tori, because I seen a post from you, a comment from you saying, bitch, die. And you shouldn't even did that. Now, especially not being a part of a pod named Kickback.
Do not lie on me.
It's a pod.
I do not function in that manner.
Oh,
The
Thank you
opinions of
very
Tory
much.
Grace do not reflect the opinions.
The opinions, first of all, of Tory Grace have never been that way. If I'm gonna tell a motherfucker
She got
shit,
ghetto and shit. She the nerd, right? She the nerd, but she was like, her never didn't have an ER.
No.
Her never ain't had no ER.
Never.
I would never in my
Oh, don't try to say
life.
the name. Don't try to change the name. Don't try to
First of all, I would never do shit like that.
Never do shit.
First of all, that wouldn't have happened.
Never.
Second of all,
Never.
if a bitch is in my motherfucking space, I'm out and I'm supposed to be out and I'm with my goddamn dude, move your motherfucking ass down the bench, nigga me. You ain't needing to do his drink order. I got his motherfucking drink order. Sit your ass over there. I got this shit. I don't need your help. I don't give a shit if I was Beyonce or not. I will go get his motherfucking drink. I don't need your sorry ass doing it for me.
See?
So Beehive, chill the fuck out. Let Beyonce order the man's motherfucking drinks, okay? How about that?
All right, and on that note, we're gonna bid you guys adieu. We'll see you next week. This is our 50th anniversary.
Yo!
50th episode as being a podcast.
It's a pod named Get Back.
So
dog.
next time this year, we're gonna have a whole pool party to celebrate the 100th episode.
It was raining and shit. That's why we couldn't do it this year. We was going to.
We had it planned for yesterday.
We did indeed. but
It's
it
fine because my
rained and
bathing
shit.
suit just got here yesterday, so that's fine.
I don't know what baby she got.
I had to order a new one. The way these new bathing suits work is not conducive to my shape.
Well,
That we was in a couple weeks ago. They
No.
were over thongs.
No.
They were over in thong bathing suits.
I have too much booty for that.
You do.
That if they had on a thong, they had no ass. I have an ass.
I don't have a doubt at all about this bathing suit's conductivity. So
It's rude.
It's
The new-
what is it? It's obstreperous.
It is obscene. It's motherfucking obscene.
It's obstreperous.
It is
I bet she has an obstreperous bathing suit. Don't you tell me?
I done went through 7 bathing
Don't you do
suits
it.
this year. Like, excuse me, where's the full coverage?
I love it. I love it.
It is rude.
I love it. Cheers to partial coverage.
No,
It can't cover all that touring.
it
So,
can, and I need it to be.
It
appropriate.
Tune in.
We're gonna do a pool special before this year, before the summer's
Goddamn
out.
right we are.
Summer ain't even started. Real nigga shit.
I'm
It's not
talking
even
a
summer
whole
yet.
moo-moo.
No, it's
I'm
90
wearing
degrees in Georgia, but global warming. That's
Oh.
another topic.
So, what if brainstorming? I got hit up by a photographer. What if we did a pool party / I go ahead and do some crazy ass photo shoot, do a kickback?
That will happen.
I will hit him up.
And I tell you what, kickbackers, kickbackers,
We out.
you're invited. How about that? How about that? You're invited. We will give you the information.
Indeed.
In private.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
DM us.
as we're leaving this week's show, anything you guys want to add?
I'll see y'all in July.
Happy 5-0.
You don't come back next week?
I'll be here next week, but pretty much I'm gonna see everybody in July. I'll see y'all in July.
Tori be here next week.
Maybe.
Happy 5-0, everybody.
And we gotta figure out what we're doing on that one show, because we both gonna be out of town for one show. I'll be back that Sunday morning. So we could do a show, I guess maybe get Lex P to fill in.
Thanks, I need your help.
We'll figure it out. But happy 50th episode, JB. Happy 50th episode, Tori. Happy 50th episode, No Grace New. I want to thank you guys because you're watching all of our old shows. We're streaming on Apple, all of our old shows.
Like and subscribe.
Facts. And one more shout out to the people of France. The 9%.
And
that
don't
are
forget Ghana. Didn't you tell me we
Oh
had?
yeah, we had Ghana. Ghana's moving.
I am excited.
Ghana's gaining on France. So shout out to Ghana, shout out to France, and of course United States. You're our #1 listening market.
Shout out to my homeboys in Accra, Ghana, Kokori Krite Institute in Ghana. I've been there before. I know y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with us. We appreciate y'all.
Definitely. And I think our biggest fan base is in Atlanta. Then our second biggest is in DC. So shout out to everybody in ATL, everybody back home in DC.
Shout out to
that's
my
tuning
girl
in.
Rhonda in the DMV because I know she tuned in.
Hey, shout out to DC, born and raised.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the A.
Shout out to the A, and thank you. And I'm gonna go and cut the camera off. This part won't be on the show, but you gotta watch me do it because I gotta stop it some kind of way. Thank you to Facebook. Shout out to Facebook. Everybody that missed our live broadcast, we stopped doing them to build our following.
Yo, shout out to the homeboys at the liquor store down the street, yeah. They was
Hey.
like, they watching me.
Really?
Yeah.
Every week.
Hey, I
Every
saw you on the show.
Make a
I
visit.
saw you on the show. Yo, we love
Every
it.
time I go in there, they be like, new. And they used to be like, I used to go in the liquor store, I go a lot, unfortunately. And I would
Once
go,
a week at least.
you don't know me.
Yeah,
very well.
Nah.
You don't know it's me.
More than once a
You don't know
week.
it's me.
Yeah.
But whenever I would go in there with a young lady, they'd be like, Noodle Man. I gotta tell them I'm no Grace Newman. But they were
Brandon.
always just,
Brandon.
yeah, exactly. They would always show love and shout us out. And I'm glad that they said something to you, JB. Because
They're like, we saw you on the show last week. So does that woman really give instruction for teaching women how to suck dick? Yeah, she does. Yeah, they were like, oh, I need to look out. Yeah, go back and watch again, like and subscribe. We're gonna hook you up.
So shout out to our YouTube viewership, our Apple, Spotify, Google listenership, I guess.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody on Facebook.
Indeed.
And we did this special presentation on Facebook because it's our 50th episode as a podcast. And we got rid of the Facebook broadcast. We do a teaser now, but we wanted to thank you guys by giving you this. And I even put on a blazer, bitches. Boom!